welcome to Lap and Talks. Today we're going to have a conversation on relationships. It's going to be a good conversation because a lot of us out here need to understand what a relationship is, what we're putting ourselves in, so we understand the results that we're going to get back and what signs we could avoid so we don't go through the toxic stuff. You feel me? So I'm gonna have a conversation with one of my friends. Her name's Deja, and we're gonna see what this is about. So please tune in to Thriving Talks with myself on relationships. Talks. We have a special guest. I'll let her introduce herself, but we're gonna have a conversation on relationships. But first, I'm gonna let her do her thing. Go ahead, girl.
It's Deja, the only Deja. You can add me on social media everywhere at DAIJINTHECUTLIVE. And I'm really looking forward to these conversations today.
Smooth. All right. So once again, we're gonna have a conversation on relationships. So where do you want to start with this, Deja?
Whew. Where do I want to start? Which part? Like, we want to talk about honeymooning.
Yeah, we could start from the honeymoon stage. I mean, we all know the honeymoon stage.
We could. Before you get into a relationship, you talk, or you date, or does it start off?
I mean, we start with the attraction, I could say. So a man has to see, what he's working with. It's a physical feature, the materialistic. Yeah. We all know that, and then we develop to, meeting this individual, and then we unravel who we are based on what they're giving us. You feel me?
Okay.
And usually what they're giving us is, it's lovely. You dig? it's good. Lovely. So it's like, we holding the door open. At least I'm holding the door open. You feel me? You're being a gentleman,
Gentleman, okay.
Gentleman material. Girl, she's nice. Her behavior's on point. You're not too many you ain't arguing no honeymoon. Because if you is, you cut. It's been 3 days. You over here tripping.
Everybody has that problem. You know why? Because I feel like when people are in the talking stage, they want to present their best self. Or they want to. Some people may like you so much that they want their vibe to try to flow as well with yours as it can. And I think people don't like to mess up in the beginning because, some people do though. Some people do mess up in the beginning. Some people like you so much that they start to distance themselves. I do feel like some people are afraid of love. I do feel like some people are addicted to just that beginning phase of vibing with someone, and then once they find something new, they chase another vibe for the moment. You know what I'm saying? Some people are addicted to like the honeymoon phase of a relationship, like where you guys may have mutual interests, and then before things start getting too deep, they back out. You know what I'm saying? I think people do that.
I feel like it's a fear, but my thing is this: I feel like before you put yourself on the market, you need to evaluate yourself and make sure you're with the program. Because why would you want to put your baggage on the next person? Because that might be a healthy-minded individual, but you may be toxic, and you're gonna mess someone else's vision up, and that's not right.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't think it's funny, but it's just, you just touched something that I just so agree with you. Everybody doesn't go from a relationship to another. Everybody isn't healed when they enter a relationship. Some people don't even know what they're looking for. Some people will pursue something and know that they don't really want nothing out of it. They just want some sort of conversation or a certain level of intimacy. And then when it starts to get somewhere else or a place where they don't want it to go, they renege and they back out. I do feel like some people also get into situations and, like you said, they're not fully healed. So some people are so driven by an instant gratification or a feeling of what they may feel like is love, or that triggering feeling, that they hop from relationship to relationship before figuring out what it is within themselves they need to work on, or where certain things went wrong. Some people run away from their feelings. And I just feel like, back to what you said, like people don't fully heal before they deal with certain things. Some people aren't whole or complete within themselves, so they feel the need to pursue a partner. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved. I think that's the goal. I think we're here to love. but you can't fully love somebody unless you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you love yourself, it shows in the way that you move, in the way that you care for certain things
And I
as a
think
man
that's
and as a woman.
I think that's very important because I think as a guy, we can identify that
Mhm.
we're the people that are gonna ask to be your boyfriend, or we're gonna ask to, you know what I mean, or be the husband of your life. So
Oh my gosh, yes.
if you want that position, you need to be healthy yourself.
Hmm.
And
It's
I
yeah.
believe that a lot of people say that or put a lot of things on the man, but I just feel like you got to understand within yourself before you're assembled for the king. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are not really looking into the mirror, trying to evaluate those issues, take accountability to move on to the next chapter. So we're just literally scrambling and then just saying whatever that was messed up, and I'm gonna just go on someone else because they're different or something like that. And it doesn't work that way because you're bringing your baggage. You know,
Yes.
you're
That
bringing
applies for male and female though,
it does.
because he said like you gotta assemble yourself for the king, but no shade. There's a lot of dudes out here that everybody lives a different lifestyle, but some people claim they want a queen, they want a woman with moral self-respect. They're not chasing the women that are flashy and putting their body out there. They want a wife, you know what I'm saying? But they don't really be prepared for that. Some men aren't husband material, but they want somebody that is some women aren't even wifey material, but want a man that's gonna do certain things like he's a husband, and men want certain women to do things like she's a wife. You know what I'm saying? But they don't within themselves, the thing that they're asking for in another person, they can't fulfill those same levels
I
of.
understand. I understand because I feel like, for instance, I was talking to my sister and she was saying, for instance, let's say a man's working as in a kitchen. You know what I mean? He's cooking food, X, Y, and Z. He's doing his thing. However, the woman that they're in a relationship with, she's
Mhm.
pushing him. You know what I mean? I want to you own your own practice one day, own your own shop, own your own restaurant. Just pushing him,
Mhm.
but he's just like, I don't need to hear what you're telling me. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. So some people are really prideful, and it's okay to have your pride, but you gotta understand, like, a woman's position too. She's here to support you. She's here to excel you to get to the next level. So you don't gotta always have the be on top or have the last word. You know what I mean? Give that pressure because you over here rejecting the love, man. For real, you could be missing out. And a girl like that may go on to the next guy, and really, you lost out.
I think some men,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just I am gonna be a little, I don't want to say biased, but I am gonna just speak on men for a quick moment from my personal experience. I think some men especially like within our generation. I mean, we're repeating cycles. Instead of breaking generational curses, we're repeating things that we don't want for ourselves, but we end up putting ourselves in them anyway. I feel like some men will. I'm having a moment. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
okay, okay. Well,
I feel like.
we could bring it back. Because we were talking about the honeymoon stage, so we know it's nice.
Hmm.
This is what we expect.
Hmm.
But after that, we're persisting into like months of getting to knowing each other. You went on these dates. You got to see how this person eats. Can he, you know what I mean? Can he hold himself up? Is she, you know what I mean? What is she like? Attitude, this, that. Um, but when does it get to the ticking point, and why do we not like end stuff before it gets to like being a year or 2 years, and it's just like all those red flags? Why do we? What's your insight on red flags?
Mm,
Because I feel like a lot of us out here really just evaluating on like our previous experiences of the past. We're nonchalant to them because we care about this person and we see potential. But it's just, I feel like it's really important to look out those red flags because
I
don't
feel
waste
like
time is something that's like really, something you can't get back for real.
I feel like men and women both fall victim to those things because it's like, you know what it is for me? I could see a red flag, but I could see more good things than just the red flag. So I'll feel like I noticed this about you, but that's just a character flaw. We could work on it. I saw that you did this, but maybe you didn't mean it like that. I see more in you. We could work on that. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that somebody can work on something, one, when you genuinely love somebody, because I'm gonna say genuine. You know what I'm saying? You accept them for who they are.
But hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
But
hold on,
it's
hold on,
not
hold on, hold on,
perfect.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's wait. Let's
There be red
hold on.
flags.
Listen,
You
listen,
said
listen, listen,
red
listen, listen.
flag.
But listen. Like we said, we're starting from scratch with this. So I don't
Mhm.
love you because I don't know you. So we got to be
Okay.
careful with that word right there. So we're getting
Okay.
to evaluating our partner. I don't.
Okay.
So yeah,
We're not in the relationship part yet.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're evaluating them. Okay.
So
So
those red flags. So why are we? That's a trickle down part right there. Like you walking in the desert, but it's like there ain't no water, and we still going through the desert. We could turn around right now, type and go back to
yeah.
yeah.
I think some people are so it kind of goes back to a little bit, just a little bit of what we was talking about, are so eager to feel connected to somebody or wanting to feel what love feels like if they didn't receive it at home, if they didn't grow up with it, if they feel like however they feel within themselves, we all have that yearning to feel love
Mm-hmm.
and to have a companion and to be with somebody. So even though you could ignore certain things about them, you know, like we said, this is not love. You could just be vibing with somebody. Some people build an attachment really early, like really early.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people, like, dating and courting and just talking and stuff like that. That's just the pregame. That's just like you just getting to know somebody. It's not solidified. You get what I'm saying? That's where you start to build the foundation. And when you guys are on the same page, then you escalate it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you guys know what you want, you guys have certain things about each other that you can relate to, that you feel like this will be a bond that's worth pursuing, that deserves a commitment. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So some people, when they're ignoring red flags, I feel like it's because they get attached quickly. Some people have issues with being alone. And some people are so vulnerable that they have emotional attachment and detachment issues.
I
That's how
agree.
I
I'm
feel.
here. It's hard.
That's,
It's
that's
difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult sometimes. But for
It also
also.
depends on what you're doing though
Mm-hmm.
in that talking stage, because everybody don't just talk in the talking stage. Everybody don't just go out to eat. And not that I know of, everybody don't just go out to eat. I mean, I'm not saying that applies to me. I the way you carry yourself as a lady, some people do believe in, linking in one night stands or maybe a 2 or 3 night stand, and then maybe you'll part ways. You know what I mean? Like some people don't take the time to know each other. And I also feel like
Mm-hmm.
when you exchange a level of intimacy with somebody, and that doesn't just have to be sexually or physically, but mentally as well, that builds some sort of, we're going to talk about soul ties, but soul ties and attachment. Everybody can't do certain things. Some people can, men and women,
Mm-hmm.
and not have an attachment to them. Some people just aren't built like that. Some people can't just cut ties like that. So even if it wasn't really nothing for you, it may be something for somebody else. You get what I'm saying?
What I can say is this: some people don't even get to make it to even the red flags because they didn't get enough time to even evaluate their partner.
Ooh, that is so
You
true.
know, you didn't give them time to evaluate you, and you didn't get time for you to evaluate who you're dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I be telling people like, you know what I mean, this girl may be bad, you feel me? But you don't
But
know
she really fat.
you don't know what it's coming with, you know?
Oh no, you don't know
You don't
until you went
know.
too deep.
So like they say, like don't judge a book by its
Hey,
cover. A lot of that line right there runs over our heads so much that you know what I mean. Like you may not see it until a few. Some people get locked into things like or get
come
whipped, as
on.
we know. You know.
Who they are. You gotta sometimes you don't see somebody's true intention, even if they're slowly revealing it to you, because like you said, the key word is red flags. You can see certain things with somebody, but it ain't gonna hit. It's not gonna hit you who a
Yeah, it's
person
not gonna
is.
hit.
It's gonna sound unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just an honest truth. It's not gonna hit you
Keeping 100.
who a person is until there's pain involved.
Yo, that's facts. Yes, sir.
You will not know who somebody, like, everything could be great,
Mm-hmm.
but unless there's a situation where, like, people are so good, especially in the beginning, a lot of people are just not that real and raw to be who they really are. Mm-hmm. That is the God's honest truth. People are not 100 with themselves, so they can't be 100 with the person that they're trying to deal with. That's just
one thing I can say that just hit my mind just now is this. Mm-hmm. We have a desire, or a lot of people like desire or want some things, and mm-hmm. even with media, it kind of messes us up significantly, whether you believe it or not. Oh, yeah. But what I can say, we have our desires. But my thing is this: you may want something, but that may not be what you need.
Yo, that is a fact.
You know? So it's like this person, like I said, they may come with this and they may come with that, but everybody comes with their baggage. You know, we're not all perfect. You know but yeah,
I cut you off. You know what that comes with too? Some people are nearsighted, and I heard a man say this about men. People can have somebody that may not be the perfect companion, but they're well-rounded in multiple areas that they're not. There's the such thing as yin and yang. Like you could be this type of person, and this person's this type. Like you guys have opposites that attract. You know what I'm saying? Like this person's weakness is another person's strength, mm-hmm. and I think that's why, too, sometimes people want things that they aren't because another person has it, mm-hmm. or certain character traits that they would like to see in themselves. They would hope that a certain vibe runs off. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but we can't live a life. We can't live a life in potential all the time. You can't keep guessing or just kind of thriving off of that. Like either they're with the program or not, because like I said, or what I could say is this: how you start is how you usually finish. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's very important, especially for a guy. You know,
not always.
Not. But listen, I think it's really hard, like really important to evaluate who you're dealing with and knowing what it comes with and how they articulate themselves and all that type of stuff like that. But mm-hmm. you need to start off strong, because usually if you don't start off strong and you don't do your work, it's not going to end up right.
I agree.
Just because, listen, and just because you was in a relationship for 6 years, you know, mm-hmm. doesn't mean necessarily you're better than, or you have the, you know, the capacity of, everybody's different.
Everybody's
so
different.
You could be with someone for 8 years and the next person, it's a whole, you're starting from scratch. So just because you've been with someone for a certain amount of time does not validate nothing. Okay, who cares? That wasn't me. You know? So
that wasn't me.
It wasn't me, you know?
That's true.
But yeah, like I said, I feel like a lot of the research, a lot of the work that needs to be done has to be done in the beginning stages, because like I said, and a lot of people don't even understand. Hold on 1 second. Some people don't even know this too. What is a relationship? Because as far as I know, a relationship is pursuing some type of bond of becoming unison. You know, having that connection. So whether it be marriage or not, some people out here like, oh, I don't want to get married. All right, you don't gotta buy no ring, but you that connection need to be real, like the trust and all that, right? Because that's what you would want, right?
I feel like 2 things that you said. Mm-hmm. The marriage thing, right? That has to be established in the beginning, mm-hmm. because you can't be in a relationship with a man and then 5 years down the line, you decide that you want to be married, and from the beginning, you both agree that that's not something that you would want. Mm. You get what I'm saying? If that's something that you want later on, that's something that you wanted from the beginning. You get what I'm saying? It's not new.
Intentions.
It's just you might have been saying that or agreeing to it because you felt like that's what this person wanted.
But more so, I'm 22 years old. I ain't pursuing no marriage anytime soon.
But you have to date with intent,
yeah,
though.
Of course. You're dating for intent, and that's that exactly. I'm with the program. But most people are not, like I said, I just feel like I'm more so like in the grounding of things, because like I just think it's really crucial, and I can't emphasize that enough. Because
in the grounding of what you're talking about, solidifying the foundation.
Yes. And really taking the time, you know what I mean? Because a lot of guys out here think just because you take a girl on a date, you know, and you build from there, like that's like you got it. You feel me? You don't know who this person is.
Some men think that they have to
impress. They gotta floss. They gotta flex. They gotta
look. It's also an image, though. Mm-hmm. It's not realistic.
It ain't.
Like, I feel like people that do the most to gain, that care about the way that they look on the outside, how they're perceived to people, are people that are insecure and unsure of themselves, because you're looking for a certain type of validation from people that don't matter. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people will ruin things that have the potential to be good because they're focused on the outside things that don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
The
I feel like
materialistic stuff.
you can have, listen, we all want to be rich and get money and be living in this lavish house and, you know, driving a nice car. Even if it ain't like the newest car, we all want the things that we
Up
want.
to date. They want yeah. Mm-hmm.
We want what we want, but and it's not that it's not attainable or it's not realistic for us to have it, but we have to live within the means that we have. And some people try to live a forced life or try to compare and compete with people that are in a whole different lane than them. You get what I'm saying? We're not all on the same life path. And this goes for relationships too. You know what I'm saying? Because some people get in relationships and they forget that it's two people coming together to be one. And if the foundation is where it's supposed to be, you guys should be coming together to form a bond to meet the same goals. It shouldn't be one person working for themselves to get to where they got to be to chase their dreams because they feel like some person is holding them down. It should be we building each other up, building blocks. So while I'm up here, you right behind me, you right next to me, you not all the way down here and have to play catch up. Some people get in a relationship and they try to stunt on the person that they're with. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that's genuine. I feel like some people get into relationships and they start off being phony because it's not true to who they really are.
So we had some technical difficulties. We're gonna finish up this video another time for part 2. It was a pleasure having you as a guest, Deja.
Yes, I can't wait for part 2 of our segment.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be bomb. I appreciate you having me as a guest today. Thriving Talks with Anthony.
You know
where it's at. You know, I totally respect everything that you're doing as far as bringing awareness to, you know, things that are happening in our generation, our society, and I think you're doing great. I can't wait for us to reconnect and see you guys in part 2.
Most definitely. Have a nice night. Take it easy.
Period.
Yo, some boy did